Malchus tells his story by R.J. Pewitt. As Malchus enters, his wife awakens and rises to see how the evening went. He had told her he would be out most of the night, but she was alarmed to see him come home with blood on his cloak. He didn't appear injured, so where did the blood come from? While putting on a clean cloak, her initial inquiries go unanswered, only to be greeted with a look of bewilderment and confusion that she had never seen before. Slowly he begins to explain. Last night didn't go like I thought it would. Remember I told you one of his disciples had agreed to identify this man Jesus for us. The chief priest and the Pharisees sent numerous officials to ensure he knew we were serious about his arrest. Then this guy Judas shows up with a detachment of Roman soldiers. There must have been more than 100 people there just to arrest one man. Everyone was carrying torches, lanterns, and all sorts of weapons. The Pharisees must have feared an uprising if his followers saw him arrested, so they sent an overwhelming force. Anyway, this guy Judas leads us to a garden near the olive grove. When we arrive, there's only about 10 or 11 men there. We expected his followers to shield him, so when one of them steps forward and asks, "Who are you looking for?" the priest replied, "Jesus of Nazareth." This same man says, "That is me." His strong posture and demeanor startled us so much that many of the officials and even soldiers stumbled backwards and fell to the ground. It was almost like he was in charge instead of us. After we got back up, he asked a different priest, "Who is it that you want?" And that priest also replies, "Jesus of Nazareth." He says, "I told you once I am he. If you're looking for me, then let these other men go." After his disciples left, they tied his hands and took him to Caiaphas' father-in-law. Annas, trying to show his self-importance, was interrogating him about his teachings. He wasn't fearful at all. In fact, he said that all he had taught was said openly in the synagogues, and nothing was taught in secret. He answered so forcefully and directly that one of the other officials slapped him and said he shouldn't talk to the high priest that way. You know, that's why I've never liked Annas. He thinks and acts like he's still the high priest, when really he's not. Anyway, after that they sent him off to Caiaphas, and that's when I left to come home. You know, this man was powerful in every way. It was like he knew we were there to arrest him, yet he willingly gave himself over to us. Even if they get the Romans to kill him, the blame will surely fall on us. I fear we have made a grave mistake. But what can I do? I'm just a lowly servant. But that doesn't explain the blood on your cloak, she insisted. Oh, that. While we were confronting Jesus in the garden, one of his disciples pulls a sword and tries to take my head off. Thankfully, I ducked, but he did manage to cut off my ear. And that's when Jesus tells him to put his sword away. Then the most amazing thing happened. While saying something about drinking from his Father's cup, he steps forward and touches my ear, and immediately it is whole and healed. I'm standing there dazed and confused when I notice he's looking at me. He was looking into my eyes for what seemed like hours, but in reality just a split-second glance. Calmness washed deeply over me. His eyes told me, "I love you. Everything's going to be okay." I can't explain it. It was like a bolt of lightning, not of pain, but of peace, love, and assurance. The priests and soldiers were expecting a fight and apparently missed the miracle that had just happened. I wonder if they saw what he was capable of, and that made them even more fearful of him. If he could heal and restore a severed ear, what calamity might he bring on them if they let him live? They arrested and bound him, and as they took him to Annas, I lagged behind and tried to grasp what had just happened. I started to have doubts about what we were doing. Could this man be the Son of God as he says he is? If he wasn't, how could he possibly have healed me so quickly? We thought all the rumors we heard about his healings were false. Now I know they were true. More importantly, the love and peace I experienced is something I have never felt before. It will forever draw me to him. It will forever draw others to him as well. We should go and see what the council has decided to do with him. I may not be able to save him, but I can tell others what he has done for me. That right up until the end of his life, he was healing and forgiving sinners like me. To understand his teachings of grace, love, and forgiveness will forever change their lives.